You've probably seen your fair share of paranormal clips, especially if you follow this channel. But have you seen this?
It's wild. And trust me, that's just the beginning. Today's episode is packed with cryptids and strange phenomena that'll mess with your head.
I'm Steve, this is Classified Captures. Now let's take a look at the first clip.
If you've ever wondered what the King of Snakes looks like, there you have it, at least according to the one who uploaded this clip. In the image, we see what looks like a snake-like figure with horns on its head. You don't need to be a snake lover to know that snakes don't exactly have horns. Even the horned viper, which literally has the word horn in its name, doesn't have a real horn, just scales that look like horns. So where did this clip or image come from? Well, it's hard to say. The uploader insists it was a real capture, but a majority of the paranormal community believes that this is nothing more than an AI generation. When you take a second look at the image again, you can sort of see that AI handwriting all over it. Maybe it's just me and my skeptical nature, but what do you guys think? While you're sharing your thoughts, take a look at another bizarre sight. What would you do if water started falling in clumps like this while you're trying to fill your cup? The clip on your screen was allegedly captured by a mother whose daughter was playing with the tap at the sink. Instead of the water flowing in the usual steady stream, we get this strange effect. Surprised, she records it and uploads it online. While many were quick to call the clip fake, some in the community, particularly those with a more scientific mindset, claimed it could be real if the water was being hit by a specific frequency. A few even pointed out that in the original video there was background sound that resembled a compressor. To them, this wasn't paranormal, just an unusual scientific phenomenon. Still, others argued it could just be AI at work. Personally, the sound and frequency explanation is intriguing, but what do you guys think? When you look at this clip, do you notice anything peculiar? No? Well, keep watching. Now do you see it? There's some sort of invisible being moving in the scene. Do you see it? Even though it's not vividly visible when it moves, there's a noticeable disturbance in the scene if you're paying attention to it. The individual who uploaded the clip didn't say much, but from what we can see, the person most likely started recording when they felt there was something out there with them. Some in the community think it's a human being that's somehow found a way to become invisible. Others spoke more in favor of spirits, and then there are those who felt we could be dealing with some sort of alien scout. I know the theories are all over the place, but can you blame them? People still believe that the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter is real and can even be made in real life. Yeah, that really happens. But there you go. Personally, this is a situation I wouldn't want to comment on, but perhaps you guys have a solid theory. Please do share it, even if your theory is that the clip is fake and not real. You're probably wondering what this next one is, and honestly, so was the guy who filmed it. He said that at exactly 11:30 p.m. while standing at the southern tip of Cortes Island facing 120 degrees, he shared that. He spotted a bright circular flame, red light across the water. His first thought, wildfire, but the brightness was strange, too intense. He checked the fire map, nothing. Then a second light appeared above the first. Could it be another fire? Maybe, but then it moved. Smoothly, no flickering, no dimming. 4 degrees across the compass in a second. It looked neither artificial nor like a natural fire. The lights were bright enough to light up the mountains in front of him. At times, one light would vanish, then reappear somewhere else, but never both at once. He kept going in and out of the house to watch, and by 12:08 a.m. they were gone. That's when he noticed something even weirder. While the lights were out there, his entire backyard was lit up so bright he could see the trees clearly from indoors. Once they disappeared, everything went dark again, and strangely, there were no reflections on the water, suggesting they weren't hovering over it. The water stretches 20 kilometers across, and he believes the lights were even further out than that. He never said what he thought they were, but from the way they moved and how they lit up the landscape, you can tell he strongly suspected something otherworldly, maybe a UFO. But we may never know for sure. This next one might not be paranormal, but it's barely normal either. Meet Alina, a Ukrainian TikToker who went viral a few years ago. Meet Alina now. No, she wasn't diagnosed with a terminal disease or anything that made her drastically lose weight. She chose to lose weight in an attempt to meet some sort of beauty standard or become even more popular. For some odd reason, many algorithms on a number of social media platforms promote pro-anorexia content, and Alina decided to ride that wave to fame. The only cost, however, is her health and potentially her life. You'd think social media companies would be more careful about the things they promote and allow on their platforms, but it doesn't look like that's the case. This is Alina in just 5 years. Who knows how many more years she has left if she continues down this path. We've a lot more people doing crazy things, with some even dying while doing it, so listen up, folks. If you die doing crazy things for the algorithm, the world will talk about you for a while, and then move on. Remember, you're not the only one that's going to experience any pain and suffering for whatever your actions happen to be. Your family will suffer too. No one online really cares about you, only your family, and it's you who are hurting them. It's high time we came to that realization, so if you have a family member or a friend doing crazy things for the algorithm, please help them before it's too late. It just ain't worth it.
I'm speaking to all you young folks out there and you social media influencers, so-called, who are just trying to follow an algorithm. Stop doing stupid okay? You're hurting yourself, you're hurting your friends, you're hurting your family. And if you're doing it just for the approval of strangers on the internet, they don't give a shit about you. Okay? So just do me a favor and just be sensible, be safe, and stop doing things that are stupid just for likes. Okay? Thank you.
So this was also recorded by a man named Leroy Torres, who was out with his family one night in Ecuador. While on their trip, they noticed what looked like shadows at the back of their car. Intrigued and a little curious, they started filming to make sure their eyes weren't playing tricks on them. Surely enough, the shadows, or at least what they believed they had seen, were real. They followed the car a great distance, and there were moments they actually believed what they were seeing were real people, but that couldn't be possible, they told themselves. They chose to believe it was a paranormal event and eventually went their way. When they uploaded the clip, some sided with them that they could have met paranormal beings playing in the back of the truck. Others weren't so kind to them. They called them childish and irresponsible. Why? Because they believed the truck could have been transporting kidnapped children who were doing their best to get someone's attention. Instead of Leroy and his family recognizing that, they followed and took videos like children. Sounds harsh, but I'm only paraphrasing. What do you also think? Paranormal event or a real case of kidnapped kids trivialized? Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section.
Sí se ve. Ahí estamos viendo, aquí en la carretera Naranjal, unos niños, son una sombra. No hay gente ahí, mi gente, créame. Estamos totalmente sorprendidos y asustados al mismo tiempo. Estoy viajando con mi familia. Se ven unos niños que juegan en un carro que está totalmente vacío en la parte de atrás. Es algo increíble. Tenemos el miedo total aquí en el carro, pero en nombre de Cristo no va a pasar nada.
Next, we head to Pembroke, Massachusetts, where this strange clip was captured by a resident. According to the lady who recorded it, she was indoors when she heard a strange sound. Although occupied, she decided to come out and take a look. After all, you can never be too careful these days. Once she got out, she saw what you're seeing on your screen and thought to herself that that can't be normal. So she did what every curious person would do. She took the clip that you and I are watching. But having the clip is one thing, knowing and understanding what exactly you're looking at is another. Unable to determine what it was, she uploaded, hoping the ever-knowing internet could give her answers. And as always, the internet did not disappoint. Many theories came from different people. It was even allegedly reported by the Boston 25 News, proving its authenticity. And while authenticity is a great thing, it still doesn't explain what this is. So, can any of you help? From Pembroke, we head over to the Red Planet, where something strange might have been caught on camera. A four-legged creature walking across Mars. The buzz started after NASA's Opportunity rover sent back a set of images. In one of them, eagle-eyed viewers noticed what looked like a dark four-legged figure moving across the barren landscape. It even seemed to cast a shadow and had the shape of a small mammal. NASA brushed it off as just another oddly shaped rock, but not everyone's buying that explanation. Some researchers pointed to the object's symmetry and shading, arguing it looked a little too deliberate to be a natural formation. Digging into the footage, the supposed creature appears in several frames taken by Opportunity's panoramic camera. Interestingly, its position changes slightly in each shot, suggesting movement. That's not something you'd expect from a rock. Mainstream scientists chalk it up to pareidolia, saying people are just seeing patterns where none exist. But anomaly hunters argue there are too many of these coincidences to ignore. Whether it's a trick of light or something more, this image has definitely earned its place among the most debated and mysterious photographs in Mars exploration. You've seen the image yourself, so what do you make of it? I know you're wondering what this is and where it came from. Would you believe me if I told you this was allegedly found in Peru and dates back around 2,000 years? Well, now here's where it gets even stranger. They say DNA samples were sent to a lab for testing, but no one was given details about what the skull looked like, just to make sure the results wouldn't be biased or compromised. When the results came back, they didn't match anything. Not human, not animal, just unknown. Some experts brushed it off as a genetic mutation, but here's the catch. This is not the only one. Other skulls with the same bizarre features have been discovered in the region, so at what point does just a mutation stop making sense? A growing number of people believe we could be looking at evidence of an ancient species or something not of this world. Coincidence or cover-up? You decide. Next, we got this image that was captured during an investigation. What was supposed to be a simple photograph has turned out to be a bit more paranormal, complex. Yeah, complex. Beside one of the officers, there's a somewhat transparent being sitting to her right, which is on our left. Wait, did I get that right? There's a being there that doesn't exactly look human. Let's just keep it at that. Not sure who uploaded the image, but it was uploaded online by someone who wanted answers. They wanted to know what the thing sitting beside the officer was and why it was there. Opinions have varied on this one, with some claiming the whole capture was fake, but is it though? Well, we can't say for sure, but if it were real, assuming this image has not been doctored in any way, what do you think we're dealing with? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. Imagine driving home and then seeing something like this fall right in front of you. What would you do? Well, from the clip, many individuals who saw this just drove in the opposite direction. For once, they didn't behave like video game characters with unlimited lives. They understood it was dangerous and went the other way. But what exactly was that thing falling from the sky? The truth is, we don't know. We simply heard that there were balls of fire falling from the sky. This happened in the southeastern part of the United States, and we even mentioned some instances in last week's episode. We bring it up again because, well, it looks like it wasn't just one, or in one place. Some believe it was a meteor, but that just doesn't add up. We would have been warned if there was a meteor approaching the planet. I mean, we even got told about meteors that are about to miss our planet, so how much more something like this? Anyway, if you experienced this, kindly let us know in the comments section, and if you have videos or photographs as well, please do share. We'll give you the credit due. We just want to get to the bottom of this. Have you ever seen lightning strike in the sky? Then had the clouds moved the way this one was? If you answered no, that makes two of us. I was shocked by this and immediately thought it was fake, but the one who uploaded it states it's real. According to him, the atmosphere was intense when it happened, and he believed that it could have been a UFO hiding in plain sight. He feels the lightning strike may have messed up its camouflage system, leading to the display we see. A number of individuals in the comments section believe it's legit, and I can't blame them for thinking so. What I want to know right now is your thoughts on this. Do you also think it's legit, or is someone just messing with us? Speaking of unidentified things or persons, take a look at this group photograph. Does anything seem out of place? Do you see it now? This was uploaded by a lady called Rebecca, who claimed she'd been having insomnia since the photograph was taken. Rebecca was having a bit of fun with Mary and her colleagues in her apartment. It all went well, or so they thought. When they started reviewing the pictures, they noticed there was one other person with them in the photographs. This person didn't, however, look human. Instead, she looked like a ghost or tormented spirit of some sort. Initially, Rebecca was confused by the photo, but after a few days, she discovered that many people had left her apartment before their contracts ended over some unexplained occurrences. She also discovered that someone had died in a bathtub in that same apartment. Looking at the image, it became clear that if the rumors were true, then this was most likely the spirit of that person. That scared the hell out of her and has left her shaken. She shared the story on a paranormal platform, hoping people would tell her she was overthinking things. Instead, everyone advised her to leave if she could afford to. What would you have done in her position? She's not the only one to have had such an experience, though. This is an older photograph that was allegedly captured in Pluckley, England. In the photo, we see what looks like an avoidance in the form of a humanoid. They say that the image was captured when a paranormal being was materializing in that spot. Not everyone buys that, though. Some think it's just a poor quality image of a woman in black. Personally, I'm tempted to think it's that too, but can you really blame people for thinking this is more than meets the eye? Pluckley is considered one of the most haunted places in England for those unfamiliar with it. This quiet little village in Kent has gained near legendary status in paranormal circles, often referred to as the most haunted village in the country. It even earned a spot in the Guinness Book of Records for that very title. Locals and visitors alike have reported a wide range of eerie encounters, everything from phantom monks to screaming specters and ghostly carriages that vanish into thin air. With that kind of supernatural resume, it's not surprising that strange images like this one would stir up so much speculation. Whether it's a camera glitch, an illusion, or something genuinely unexplained, the setting alone adds enough weight to make you wonder. If you're waiting for me to tell you what the creature in this clip is, let this be noted as a disclaimer. I don't know. What I do know, however, is the story behind the clip. The clip was captured by a security guard who claimed he was hearing strange sounds at night. When he went out to investigate, he noticed a strange creature he had never seen before. Being the brave and complete man he was, he tackled and managed to subdue the strange-looking being. After he had done that, he took this video to seal his triumph and shared it online, hoping we could all see and upload his triumph. I meant to say, he uploaded it online so we could help him identify what this was. A number of individuals told him it was fake, others believed it was the real deal. Despite the many opinions and takes, no one could really tell him what this was. Can you help? And do you think or believe it's legit?
Okay. Ya parece y Macarena y terreno venía imagínase.
Moving on to the clip of another being considered a legend by many. Behold, La Bigfoot. Instead of the usual forest capture of him running away from the camera, this was captured in a slightly unorthodox Bigfoot location. He was found in an abandoned forest cabin. In the clip, he appears shocked to have been discovered and peers from the corner, as though to get a better view of his discoverers. We don't see much of him as the clip ends almost as quickly as it started. The uploader insists it's the real deal, and many in the community are just disappointed. They think he tried to take advantage of their love for the big guy and served them a cold dish without flavor. There were a few, however, who believed this was a legit capture of Bigfoot and couldn't wait to be told where exactly the footage was recorded. The uploader refused to share, and that made some people mad. But what do you think? Is the clip legit? Do you think things from other realms and dimensions could become visible and even materialize in our own dimension? Before you answer, take a look at this clip. I can't be the only one who initially thought this was something materializing in our plane. I must admit, I did at first think it was a projection, but the more I looked like it had depth to it. It was almost as though this thing were solid elsewhere, but merely appeared intangible in our world. This made me think of the interdimensional stuff. Someone on my team, however, said I was thinking too much and that the clip, if true, was probably the government at it again with Project Bluebeam. For those new and unfamiliar, Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory claiming that NASA and other agencies plan to stake a fake alien invasion or a religious event using advanced holographic technology to establish a new world order. The idea is that by creating mass fear or awe, world governments could unite under a single authoritarian regime. There's no credible evidence supporting it, but day in, day out, we get clips like this that make people think it's real. Anyway, what do you guys think? Yeah, so this is another alleged Bigfoot capture that was sent to us, and I'm short of words. I mean, I know Bigfoot carried their young, but the buttocks seem like a rather uncomfortable and unorthodox spot to carry one's young, doesn't it? Anyway, for once, almost everyone in my team believes this is AI. I won't be sharing my thoughts on this one, but let's hear from you. What do you think? AI assistants like Alexa are in homes all over the place these days. Most people use them to play music, set timers, or ask random questions. It's all pretty harmless. Until something strange happens. This woman was home alone one evening when she started hearing weird noises coming from the bathroom. She was a little freaked out, so she grabbed her phone and started recording, walking slowly down the hallway and calling out to see if someone was in there. When she got there, the bathroom was empty. Then she heard it again from the next room, so she turned and followed the sound, and to her surprise, it was coming from her Alexa. Alexa was randomly playing fart noises on her own. No one asked her to do that. She genuinely thought her house might be haunted, and honestly, who wouldn't?
So, has Alexa ever done something creepy like that in your house?
Hello? Hello? Alexa, stop!
Okay, now what exactly is this? Someone in the US spotted something strange in the sky, and it's got a lot of people scratching their heads. At first glance, it just looks like a blurry object floating way up there, but when you zoom in, well, things get weird. From the top of this hazy-looking object, a green laser beam shoots straight up into the sky, and at the same time, another laser beam is directed downward into a cloud just beneath it. Now, the internet is buzzing. Some are convinced it's a UFO, others say it could be some kind of experimental tech. Maybe even a satellite doing high-atmosphere scanning. Who knows? But that's not something you see in the sky every day. So what do you think this could be? Now, I'm not exactly sure where this place is, but someone managed to capture something very strange on camera. They were recording down this quiet hallway when something walked across. It's faint, almost see-through like a soft white light in motion. And it looks like the lower half of a person. It moves quickly and smoothly, then disappears into the wall like it was never there. Some are calling it a ghost, but for those who've seen things like this before, you know it's something else entirely. So, what do you think was caught in this footage? You might think you're looking at an X-ray of some kind of alien creature. The skull is packed with teeth in places where teeth shouldn't even exist, but this is real. What you're seeing is an X-ray of a person who has a condition called hyperdontia. It's a rare condition where someone develops extra teeth, and not just a few extras. While most adults have 32 teeth, this individual has 81. The extra teeth are often tucked deep within the gums or the jawbone, growing and crowding the mouth. It's not something you hear about often, but cases like this do exist, and it's hard not to stare. But before you ask, yes, it can be fixed. Depending on how deep or how many these teeth are, oral surgeons can extract them, especially if they're pushing against nerves or making the jaw ache. So yeah, this ain't an alien. Now take a look at this tree. On the outside, it looks completely intact, but then you see through the cut in the trunk that it's burning from the inside. But don't worry, the tree is not cursed or possessed. It's a natural phenomenon that can happen under a few specific conditions. One likely cause is a lightning strike. When lightning hits a tree, it can ignite the internal heartwood without setting the outer bark on fire, so from the outside everything looks fine. Another possibility is internal decay. When trees rot from the inside, they sometimes form hollow spaces. If those spaces are filled with dry, flammable material like dried heartwood, and heat or fire reaches it, the tree can burn internally while the outer shell remains intact. It does look creepy, but it's not supernatural. We've all dealt with that one mosquito that just won't quit, buzzing around your ear and dodging every swat. But what if I told you it might not be a mosquito at all? Recently, reports out of China have stirred up some serious concern. Engineers there have developed a mosquito-sized spy drone, and yes, it's exactly as creepy as it sounds. This thing is just 0.6 centimeters long, and it's said to come with a tiny camera, a microphone, and a flight system built to mimic the erratic behavior of a real mosquito. But here's the part that really gets people talking. It's reportedly invisible to radar. It has 3 legs and a flexible back, helping it land undetected on people and surfaces. In theory, it could gather audio, video, or even track movement while looking like a harmless little insect. So now, no one's saying they're being mass deployed yet, but if that tech exists, who's to say they aren't already out there?
So the next time you're swatting at that one persistent bug, maybe check and see what you're swatting at first. You never know.
In Mexico, a man and his team stumbled upon something that might just rewrite what we thought we knew about alien contact. What they found was a set of carved stone spheres, and one of them in particular stood out. It's being called the Bugis sphere. Now, this isn't just some decorative artifact. The surface of this sphere is covered in deliberate carvings. The carvings depict aliens, ships, and otherworldly symbols. These carvings don't seem modern. They have the worn, aged look of something ancient that's been buried for years, maybe centuries. Some researchers and enthusiasts believe this is evidence of ancient alien contact. Skeptics argue it's all a hoax or a misinterpretation of traditional art. The Bugis sphere remains one of the most mysterious artifacts out there. A nurse was doing her usual rounds late one night when she walked into an empty ward to grab something. The room was supposed to be vacant, but she immediately felt like something was off. Then she noticed it. Something was moving in the room. At first, it looked like a faint shimmer in the air. It shifted and glided across the floor, slowly weaving back and forth like it was pacing. The nurse took out her phone and started filming. And in the footage, you can clearly see this strange, almost human shape, but only partially visible. Parts of it were missing. Hospitals see a lot of death, and sometimes maybe the things that linger after. Could this have been a spirit, a residual energy caught in a loop, or just the light in the room? An Appalachian resident shared a strange video online that has left a lot of people unsettled. He'd parked his car and stepped away briefly to handle something. But when he returned, something unexpected was waiting for him. The glass on his car door had been shattered, yet nothing was stolen. Just one thing was left behind. This root. It was a twisted, dark briar root placed neatly on the front seat. Instead of being focused on the damage to his car, the man seemed more concerned about the root itself. You see, in Appalachian folklore and various traditions tied to root work and folk magic, briar roots are more than just plants. They're used in spells, potions, and rituals. Some say they bring protection. Others say they're used to casting curses, and in this case, no one knows what the intention was. So the man has the root with him on a shelf in his house. Do you think that's a good idea? As humans, there's one thing we all expect. If there's light and darkness, we cast a shadow. Just one shadow. That's how it's always been. But what happens when you have two? A man was out walking one evening when he noticed something strange. His shadow stretched out like normal cast by the light behind. But then he saw something else. Another shadow. This one was right behind the first, perfectly mimicking its shape step for step. At first he thought someone was walking close behind him, so he turned around and there was no one there. The road was completely empty, and yet there it was, two shadows. Now, before we all jump to supernatural conclusions, let's be fair. There could be a rational explanation. Maybe there were two light sources at slightly different angles, but if not, Then something else was walking with him. But what could it be?
But you guys notice this? You see my shadow? Well, guess what? There's two shadows, and I thought someone was about to me up, and I scared the out of my own goddamn self. Like, I don't even know how this is possible.
What is it with people who take their phones, head into the woods at night, and then run the moment something shows up? A man goes into the forest with his camera rolling. He pans the camera around in search of something, and then something appears. It's a tall, bipedal creature, completely black, almost blending into the shadows except for its red eyes. And it's walking toward the man. And just like that, the guy runs out of there. If you look closely right when the creature shows up, it looks like it's holding a flashlight or some kind of light source. Did you catch that? That tiny flicker of white like a torch beam waving. Now that's raised some eyebrows. Some are saying this whole thing's staged, maybe someone in a costume, but members of the community still think this could be a cryptid encounter. Would you have stayed to keep filming?
Ooh. Something walking. Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
There's something incredibly sweet about the idea that a beloved pet, even after passing, might still linger, just to play with the ones they left behind. That's what this family believed. Every night, their living dog would bark and run around the living room as if playing with something invisible. The family didn't think much of it at first, but after a few nights, the behavior became oddly consistent. It was almost like the dog was playing with someone. They also believed a little in paranormal stuff, so out of curiosity, they set up a camera one night, hoping to capture a sweet moment between their dog and maybe something beyond this world. Instead, this is what they saw. In the middle of the night, their dog walks into the kitchen area and comes back out wagging its tail, but behind the counter, something else moves. A pale, bald head slowly rises up, just high enough to be seen over the counter. Its eyes were glowing, staring straight ahead, and then just as slowly, it sinks back down and vanishes from view. That was not a dog, and it definitely wasn't human. It was something else. The family was so disturbed they refused to sleep in that part of the house after seeing the footage. So, what exactly was in their kitchen that night? This one's especially for the women out there. If you use tampons regularly, you might want to take a closer look at what they're made of, because what researchers recently found is really concerning. A study in the UK tested some common tampon brands and discovered they contain glyphosate. Now, if that's a name that doesn't ring a bell, let me break it down. Glyphosate is a chemical used in pesticides, and it's been linked to cancer. And it's not just about skin contact. Tampons are inserted into one of the most absorbent parts of the body, which means any chemicals in them can go directly into your bloodstream. So repeatedly monthly using leads to exposure over and over again. We're talking about a product that millions of women rely on for comfort and hygiene, yet it might be exposing them to harmful toxins without them even knowing it. So what can you do? Start checking the ingredients. Look for organic, chemical-free, or glyphosate-free alternatives. They exist, and they're becoming more available as awareness grows. All right, take a look at this next clip. This was filmed in a quiet neighborhood at night. You can see something flying slowly across the sky. It's a strange, flat object, shaped almost like an arc. These days, with how good AI and visual effects are getting, it's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not. You got deepfakes, CGI, and people constantly testing what they can get away with online. But something about this footage feels different. It's not overly dramatic, it's not flashing lights or doing impossible spins like you'd expect from a fake. It's just quietly floating there. And with all the declassified files, military sightings, and legit UFO reports floating around these days, maybe we're not dealing with AI here. Maybe we're just seeing more of what's already been up there. What do you think? Amidst his daily hustle, a guy came across something out of the ordinary.
Y'all can't tell me that ain't no fucking UFO.
As he took a closer look, he noticed this thing was way taller than regular street poles and had a strange shaped head beaming light. Its real size became apparent to him when a plane flew by and served as a reference point. Now, this strange structure raises some interesting questions. Why is it so tall? And what's up with its unique features? Is it just a pole, or is there more to it than meets the eye? People are wondering if it's some secret communication gadget, a fancy piece of art, or maybe even something from outer space. As the light cuts through the darkness, so does a curiosity cut through the unknown, making us wonder about the secrets hiding in the corners of our everyday world. What do you think of the whole thing? In the stillness of the night, a surveillance camera caught this extraordinary sight on a rather unsuspecting street. In the footage, we see a peculiar humanoid creature, plump and mysterious, emerging from the shadows. With an almost mischievous air, it crawls across the scene, displaying an unexpected ability to walk on two legs as it reaches a building adorned with a poster. For some odd reason, it tears the poster to shreds and just as nonchalantly returns to all fours and ambles away into the night. The bizarre behavior of this nighttime visitor raises questions about its motives and the supernatural touch it adds to an otherwise ordinary night. What could have prompted such a strange escapade? Before jumping to its motives, you have to ask, is this even real at all? During an exploration of an abandoned house, a man stumbled upon this unusual sight. As he peered into a small crevice in the wall, his gaze was met with an eerie-looking eye staring back at him. The eye was human-like in appearance, but its yellowish sclera and black fur-like skin surrounding the eye gave it an unsettling appearance. The man couldn't determine whether this was a cryptid or something else entirely, but he was too afraid to investigate further, so he left and shared his footage online. A number of people think it's a cat, but what do you think it could be? Next, we visit the quiet city of Corico in Chile. Before I say anything, take a look. What do you think this is? Truth is, no one truly knows. It just appeared in the sky out of nowhere and remained there for minutes. I combed the internet searching for answers but found none. The clip had been posted several times by different people on our paranormal platforms seeking answers, and I came across a comment that caught my attention. The individual commenting states that such occurrences and sightings are not new to Corico. He even adds that there have been instances where people have been captured and tortured by aliens. This is the first time I'm hearing this, and it's got me wondering, how true is this? And if it's true, how many other places around the globe are active alien spots? Perhaps we need to start sampling more clips from other continents like Asia, Africa, and even Australia. About the object in the sky, though, no one could tell what we were looking at. Some even concluded it had to be a hoax, but what do you guys think? The weirdness gets worse in our next clip. Here we have water that appears to be acting against the laws of gravity. It's moving upward as if drawn by an unseen force. Once the video went live, it left many scratching their heads. Different individuals had different ideas about what could be causing what we're seeing. Some thought it could be some kind of energy thing messing with the water, while others believed it might be a UFO playing tricks to conceal its location. But here's an interesting twist. A bunch of folks who knew about the Amazon suggested it might be a parorica. In the Amazon, parorica is when seawater meets a river, creating a special event that some describe as similar to this. Is it a parorica, though? Some Brazilians disagree, and that leaves me with just one question. Just what's happening here? What do we have here? A fish with a helmet? That's what I thought. This is what is called a barrel-eye fish. The barrel-eye fish, scientifically known as Macropina microstoma, is an intriguing deep-sea creature with a unique feature. What sets it apart is the transparent, fluid-filled dome on its head acting like a helmet. This see-through shield covers its eyes, positioned within the transparent head, enabling the fish to gaze directly upward. Although first described in the 1930s, it wasn't until recent years, thanks to advanced underwater exploration technology, that researchers could capture detailed images and footage of these elusive creatures in their natural habitat. The transparent dome serves as protection for the eyes, allowing the fish to detect prey and potential threats above while adapting to the challenges of deep-sea life below. Talk about a cool adaptation. Next, we visit North Carolina, where a man allegedly spotted a heavenly cloud in the sky. Take a look. He called it a heavenly cloud, not me. Naturally, once it went live, everyone had their reservations about what it could be. Some agreed with him that it could have been divine origins, while others thought that the unusual cloud formation could be alien-related. Looking at it, I think there's a possibility it's just a cloud, but perhaps that's just my untrained eye. What do you guys think? Watch this and see if you notice anything strange. Did you see it? Yes. What do you think you saw exactly? The original poster thinks that some sort of demonic or spiritual entity floated upwards, and once it was out of view, a dark winged being came out of nowhere and moved across the sky. The person suspected that the thing that moved across the screen might have transformed. He was also open to the idea that it might have been taken by something more sinister. I must say, when I read the caption of the original post, I found it intriguing, but the more I watched the clip, the more I felt like these spiritual entities were nothing more than animals. If you were to ask me what I thought, I would say a cat ran across the street, climbed up some bushes, and then ended up scaring an owl or some other night bird that was perched at the top. The startled owl or bird then flew away to avoid the cat. This looks like the more plausible explanation to me, but many think we're dealing with demonic beings instead. What about you? What do you think? In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, a man saw a goat walking by the forest. Why is this interesting, you ask? Well, the area is not known to have goats, which was enough to leave him shocked. Unknown to him, however, the goat was not the only shocking spectacle he would have to see that day. Standing ominously amidst the trees was a figure that sent shivers down his spine. The Grim Reaper. A spectral entity draped in a black robe with a face that resembled a skeletal visage, a classic representation of the Grim Reaper in stories. If this is indeed the Grim Reaper, then what's its reason for being there? In confusion, the man wondered if the Grim Reaper had a specific reason for appearing, and if so, who or what was the target of its supernatural visit? The man, the unsuspecting goat, or maybe something mysterious concealed within the depths of the forest. Given the fact that he lived to share this online, we can confidently say he was not the one. So, the goat? Do Grim Reapers go after animals? Share your thoughts. Now, this is an oddity that takes us beyond the realm of UFOs and into the mysterious world of anomalous rocks. Across different corners of the globe, particularly in Africa, peculiar rocks have been discovered, captivating the curiosity of those who encounter them. In this intriguing footage, a person places a nail on the rock and an unexpected and almost surreal event unfolds. The rock appears to bleed out a mysterious black liquid. This raises a myriad of questions concerning the nature of the rock and the unusual substance it releases. Scientifically, rocks don't typically bleed, and this phenomenon challenges our conventional understanding of geological processes. Where did this rock come from? What could be the source of the black liquid that flows out of it? Does it hold secrets that defy our current understanding of geology?
Oh my goodness. What the hell? Out, dude.
This peculiar sighting shows a strange tube of light moving back and forth across the sky. The light appears to be almost like a beam or a streak suspended in mid-air, and its motion is both mesmerizing and unsettling. What could be happening here? There are a few possibilities that come to mind. Some say it's a natural phenomenon, perhaps a rare atmospheric condition caused by the light to behave in such an unusual way. Others speculate that it's some kind of advanced technology, maybe a drone or a projection from the ground. Then there are those who would point to a more mysterious explanation, like a UFO or some otherworldly presence making itself known. The way the light moves seems almost deliberate, as if it has purpose or is being controlled by something. But what do you think?
Oh my goodness. What the hell? Out, dude.
What is going on here?
Oh, Bobby. Gila lah. Subhanallah. Cai.
Some men captured these strange streaks of light in the sky, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. It looks like several beams of light all falling together in a cascade from the heavens. And in another footage of the same incident, just look at that. It's even more intense. So what could have been falling down? Could this be some sort of atmospheric phenomenon, space debris burning up upon re-entry, or something else entirely? The way these lights are clustered together is baffling. They don't seem to behave like meteors, and they're too concentrated to be natural light show. Could it be a man-made event, or is there something more mysterious at play here?
Oh my God, what am I seeing?
Hold your breath for a moment as we unravel the mystery behind this seemingly nightmarish creature captured in the depths of the ocean. At first glance, it appears to be a creature with multiple heads, each with razor-sharp teeth. However, fear not, for the reality is far less sinister than our initial instincts might suggest. This eerie entity is, in fact, a collective of young Odontoblabus gobies. Odontoblabus gobies, also known as mudskippers, are specialized fish that are adapted to live in intertidal zones where land and water meet. They can breathe both air and water, and their pectoral fins are modified for a sort of walking movement on land. The younglings of Odontoblabus goby might have distinctive features that can appear unusual, especially if you're not familiar with them. Imagine this strange thing happening at night, a weird person wearing a white robe walking in an empty field. For the one who sent this video in, it was no imagination at all. He watched it play out right before him. In the footage, we can see that there are no houses around, making it even more mysterious. You might wonder, why is this mysterious person here in the middle of nowhere? It gets creepier as the person disappears into the dark, leaving us with questions and a spooky image. Encounters like these in lonely places remind us that strange things can happen unexpectedly. What could this mysterious person be doing in the middle of the night? Was it a visitor from the world beyond? Someone with a secret plan? Or something we can't understand? It's hard to say, but you can't deny that not having answers makes the whole thing even more mysterious. This video might look like someone being bullied, but what you're actually witnessing is a demonstration of the Limb-X Dynamics biped robot, a fascinating piece of technology showcasing at a robot exhibition in Shanghai. The robot is essentially just a pair of two legs, and during the demonstration, people were pushing and kicking at it trying to knock it over. However, the robot impressively maintained its balance each time, never falling down. This isn't just random abuse, it's a test of the robot's stability and resilience. The purpose of these tests is to show how well the robot can recover and stabilize itself in unpredictable situations, skills that are crucial for robots that might one day be used in various environments, from industrial settings to disaster zones. It's quite incredible to see how technology has advanced to the point where a robot can withstand such physical force and still keep standing. I get that it's not alive, and I get that these aren't meant to demonstrate how effective the robot is, but it just doesn't feel right, and I just can't shake off this feeling. This is exactly why you should always keep your doors locked even when you're at home.
Open your door.
This unsettling footage from a Ring camera shows a woman approaching a house and persistently tapping on the doorbell. When someone answered through the intercom and asked who she was, the woman insisted that the door be opened, claiming to be a neighbor. But something was off. The woman outside didn't look friendly at all. Instead of explaining herself, she kept insisting that the door be opened. The homeowner wisely asked what the problem was, but the woman continued to push for the door to be unlocked. The footage cuts off there, so we don't know what happened next, but the woman outside definitely didn't look like she was there just to chat. Luckily, the homeowner had her doors locked, which likely kept her safe from whatever intentions this strange visitor might have had. It's a stark reminder that you can never be too careful, and keeping your doors locked is always a smart move.
I really don't want to open the door. Unless you calm down.
Open the door.
Slithering into the realm of urban intrigue, our next spectacle unfolds on the streets where the ordinary takes a serpentine twist. In this peculiar footage, we witness a snake engaging in a high-stakes tightrope act, well, more like a power line act. Perhaps the streets below were a tad too bustling for its liking, so it opted for an overhead highway of wires. But as fate would have it, this reptilian daredevil's grip faltered, leading to an unexpected descent to solid ground. In a moment that blends tension and surprise, the snake's grip on the wire appears to falter, leading to an unexpected descent. Poor fella now has to use the road it was desperately avoiding. Hopefully it could make lemonade of the lemons it's being dealt by life, if you know what I mean. Well, it seems these fishermen stumbled upon a creature that could give anyone a pause during their routine fishing expedition. In this footage, a group of men went fishing expecting a standard day at sea. But nature had a surprise in store for them. What they pulled from the depths was no ordinary fish. Instead, they found themselves face to face with a black, flat creature sporting two menacing fangs protruding from its mouth. It's like something out of a deep-sea nightmare. The footage has since gone viral and led to many speculations and theories. While I'd love to tell you what we're dealing with here, I think it would be much more interesting to have a little comment section trivia. So folks, what do you think we're dealing with here? Is this a real species? Is it fake? Share your thoughts in the comment section. In the year 2015, a family from Oregon went on a leisurely walk and took some pictures of the trees in their vicinity. Upon returning home, they reviewed the footage that they'd captured only to notice something peculiar in one of the photographs. In the photo they had taken of their little daughter, they noticed a figure standing over her. However, this figure was not visible to the naked eye, as it was seemingly covered in a cloak from head to toe and appeared completely transparent. It was not a solid or visible entity, but rather a ghostly apparition that one could see through. The eeriest part was that their daughter had also noticed the figure, and in the image, you could see her standing and staring upward at the head of the entity. The family was left curious about what this entity could be. Was it a ghostly companion of some sort, or was there something else to this image? This was supposed to be your normal everyday weather forecast, but instead something strange popped up on the screen. Take a second look. Do you see it? What do you think this could be? Some think it's a bird, but I doubt birds can move that fast in the angles whatever it is on our screen was moving. Some in the comments section stated it was a Dementor from Harry Potter, while others also thought it was a glitch in the Matrix. Someone even added he had seen such things at least twice. I have my reservations about it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. What do you guys see when you look at this? Please share your thoughts. In the dimly lit room, a group of friends gathered for a late-night jam session, their instruments creating a melodic ambience. Little did they know they were not the sole performers in this impromptu concert. Behind the transparent veil of the glass window, a ghostly figure emerged, silently observing the musicians with an otherworldly presence. The musicians, lost in their craft, didn't notice the ethereal spectator in the shadows. The figure's intentions or connection to the space remain unclear, leaving all who saw the footage to make speculations. Ghostly manifestations often elicit fear and fascination, but something about this entity tells me it only came for the music. Imagine playing music so good that the dead want to listen. You know what? Perhaps we should visit that band. Meet the gharial crocodile. This formidable species is known for its distinctive long, thin snout and an elongated, narrow jawline with razor-sharp teeth. With its menacing appearance, the gharial is specially adapted to its aquatic environment. Its name, gharial, is derived from the bulbous growth on the tip of its snout, which is reminiscent of a pot or gara in Hindi. While they may look intimidating, these crocodiles are primarily fish eaters, using their streamlined bodies and powerful tails to navigate through water with precision. Encountering a gharial in the wild would undoubtedly be a sight to remember, as these creatures showcase the incredible diversity and adaptations found in the animal kingdom. Have you ever taken a closer look at the hieroglyphics and paintings of ancient Egyptians? Well, if you have, then you might have noticed some peculiar drawings of saucer-shaped objects. These drawings have been the subject of much debate among researchers and enthusiasts alike. Some people believe that these drawings are evidence of the presence of extraterrestrial beings in ancient Egypt, while others think that they're simply symbolic representations of religious or spiritual beliefs. However, some argue that these drawings are proof that the ancient Egyptians have access to advanced technology or are visited by crafts of some sort. If this is true, then it would suggest that the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced than we previously thought. Some researchers have even suggested that the ancient Egyptians may have had access to some form of anti-gravity technology, which would explain how they were able to construct such massive structures at the pyramid. Of course, there is no concrete evidence to support any of these claims, and the true meaning of these drawings remain a mystery. Nonetheless, it's fascinating to consider the possibility that the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced than we ever imagined, don't you think? I know how you guys hate all things blurry, and I hate them too, but I had to share this one. These photos were taken by Sam Jacobs while he and his girlfriend were out playing the game Pokemon Go in August of 2016. The two were walking between Loveland Madeira Road and Lake Isabella in Loveland, Ohio, when they spotted the creature. Jacobs claims that this creature is what is known as the Loveland Frogman. He's very adamant about what he saw, though many claim it to be a hoax. He estimates the being stood at least 4 feet tall. Jacobs wrote in an email about his sighting. I realize this sounds crazy, but I swear on my grandmother's grave this is the truth. An interesting account if true. What do you think, though? Have you ever wondered why certain places in the world are always frozen in ice? Well, if you haven't, we have on your behalf, and we think it's a good thing. This next clip proves our point. In 2014, a concerning discovery was made in Siberia as scientists identified a potentially harmful virus in the thawing permafrost. This raised alarms about the consequences of melting ice in polar regions. The theory suggests that the icy environment has preserved various pathogens, and with climate warming, these ancient threats may be unleashed. The worry stems from the potential release of dormant pathogens, viruses, or bacteria that have been frozen for centuries. The impact of these ancient microbes on modern ecosystems and human health is a topic of study and concern amongst scientists. As climate change continues to thaw ice, researchers closely monitor these developments to better understand and address potential risks associated with the release of long-buried pathogens. Imagine a more dangerous pandemic than COVID-19 showing up from nowhere and making everybody sick. You know what? Stop imagining. We can't have that. Next, we have a jaw-dropping moment caught on camera. An alligator casually strolling along its path encounters an unexpected obstacle, a sturdy metal fence blocking its way. Most creatures would pause and perhaps reconsider their route, but not this resilient alligator. With an impressive display of strength, the reptile takes matters into its own hands, or rather, jaws. With a calculated effort, the reptile creates a gap just wide enough for its body to slip through. This remarkable demonstration showcases the impressive power and adaptability of the alligator in overcoming obstacles in its environment. If there's any takeaway from this video, it's don't mess with these creatures. If you've made it this far, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already. It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. This footage is absolutely mind-boggling. The idea of UFO abductions has been around for a long time, with numerous reports of people and animals mysteriously disappearing and, in some cases, returning with no memory of what happened. But what this farmer captured on camera is beyond strange. In the middle of the night, after setting up a camera to catch a potential thief who had taken one of his cows, the farmer instead captured something entirely unexpected. The missing cow, which had seemingly vanished, suddenly dropped from the roof of the barn, crashing down onto the ground with debris falling all around it. You can see the cow fall out of nowhere, and there's no visible source or anything that might explain how it got up there in the first place. The farmer is convinced that this is evidence of alien abduction. After all, how else could you explain a cow disappearing and then literally falling from the sky? But what do you all think? Still on fire? Take a look at this one.
What's that?
Yeah, but fireworks don't act like that. Do they?
Someone recorded what was supposed to be fireworks moving around in the sky. Now, the supposed fireworks was moving around in ways that you wouldn't expect a traditional firework to do. This can only mean one of two things. This is a highly advanced firework, or it's no firework at all. The first one seems very unlikely, and if it's the second, then what exactly are we dealing with? I don't really have answers, do you? If you do, please share in the comments section. I would love to learn something new.
What's that?
Yeah, but fireworks don't act like that. Do they?
Not for that long.
Hold on to your sense of reality because this footage takes us on an extraordinary journey into the depths of the bizarre. Picture this. A creature washed ashore combining the body of a fish with the unmistakable facial features of a horse. Yeah, you heard that right. A fish-horse hybrid that defies the norms of the animal kingdom. Why am I even talking like this? You can clearly see it, right? The first question that might come across your mind is whether this creature is a creation of nature or a fantastical fabrication. The body of a fish seamlessly transitions into a head adorned with a horse-like mouth and herbivorous-looking teeth. It's a spectacle that challenges our understanding of evolutionary biology. Could this be the result of a genetic experiment gone awry, a natural anomaly, or perhaps a clever work of art designed to blur the lines between reality and imagination? Have you ever come across a bison? Just look at how huge this guy is. Bison, also commonly known as buffalo, are large, powerful herbivores native to North America. They are known for their massive size, with adult males, bulls, weighing up to 2,000 pounds or more. Bison have a distinctive hump on their shoulders, a massive head with a long beard and curved horns. Their fur is dense and can vary in color from deep brown to nearly black. Bison are well adapted to cold climates and have a shaggy coat that helps them withstand harsh weather conditions. While these descriptions are impressive, what impresses me the most is their size and meat. But don't tell anyone I said that. My vegetarian friends may just have my head or force me to eat salads. Well, don't mind me, I'm just teasing. There are countless delicacies around the world, each with its own unique flair, but this one takes things to a whole new level.
高端的食材往往只需要采用最朴素的烹饪方式。
In this footage, you can see a pair of hands carefully turning a massive creature in a pan of hot oil. It has 8 legs, but it's definitely not a crab. Instead, it looks like a spider, only much, much larger, completely filling the pan. Now, I'm not sure what exactly this creature is, but it's certainly unusual. Could this be a species of giant spider that's actually edible, or is it something else entirely, maybe a different kind of arthropod that resembles a spider? If you doubt skinwalkers are real, then this clip was inserted by Aaron just for you. Enjoy. The video starts off ordinarily with what appears to be a dog moving across the camera frame. By the time it reaches the other side, it's no longer a dog but a bipedal being, or should I say, a human being. Basically, the dog moved from one side of the camera frame to the other, and within those few seconds, it became a human being. Know of any cryptids with that superpower? The skinwalker comes to mind, right? All who saw this believed it had to be a skinwalker, and I must say I do share the belief. There are some in my team, however, who believe that the clip has been doctored and digitally manipulated. I'm not mentioning names, but I guess you guys already know who I'm referring to. Anyway, do share your thoughts. Delving into the realm of social media, a TikTok user sends shockwaves through the platform with a perplexing post that leaves the online community on edge. In this eerie video, the user captures a mysterious figure traversing the darkened expanse in the distance. The creature appears to be bipedal, but it was hard to make out the rest of its features because of the darkness and its ghostly appearance. As the TikTok community delves into speculation, various theories emerge. Is it a ghost from the spirit world, a shape-shifting skinwalker hiding in the shadows, or maybe even a Wendigo haunting the remote woods? The answers are still uncertain. In a follow-up post, he filmed the location during the daytime, revealing that he lives in a remote area in the woods. This means the wandering feet could be anything. What's your money on? Before we move on to the next video, just another reminder. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. I wouldn't want to send a Bigfoot after you. And don't forget to share with friends and family as well. Thank you very much. Is one for the extraterrestrial enthusiasts. In this footage, while the reporter is delivering a live TV broadcast by the sea, an unusual event takes place. If you pay attention to the screen just behind him, you'll notice something strange and unusual happening with the sea. On the right side, a peculiar object emerges from the water, swiftly submerges, and reappears on the opposite side. The swift and mysterious movement of the object has naturally led to many debates. Some suggest it could be evidence of alien technology or an advanced underwater craft. Is this truly a glimpse into the world of advanced technology, or is it perhaps just a natural activity beneath the waves? I guess that's something we'll not be able to say for sure. Have you ever had one of those situations where you wished you had more security cams so you could see different angles of something that visited your yard? Well, this is one of those situations. This clip was captured by a home security camera, and even if you're no expert, you can tell that whatever it is, it's pretty short, not just by a little bit, but by a lot. Are there any creatures that fit this bill? Ever heard of the duende? They're sometimes referred to as forest dwellers and are considered small humanoid beings. Just like many of the other cryptids we've discussed on the channel, these creatures are hardly seen, and whenever someone believes they've captured one, their claims are met with skepticism. Looking at this clip, I'm tempted to believe that this is the real thing. The footage looks authentic and does not seem altered in any way. What would have added to the authenticity of the whole thing would have been a capture from another angle. But if wishes were horses, beggars would ride, right? Anyway, let me know what you think about this one in the comments section. Am I the only one who has random thoughts sometimes? By random, I mean things like wondering what death by fishes or ants would feel like. It turns out there's a place where death by fish could be as simple as breathing. See how the fish quickly gather around what the man threw into the ocean and gulp it up within a few seconds. There's no guarantee that these things will eat human meat, but there's also no guarantee they won't. The last thing you would want is to fall into those waters. I mean, if the fish don't get you, those waters look like they could finish the job. Am I just being paranoid, or do you see what I'm seeing? This man found something strange in Nevada on Google Maps. As you zoom in, a peculiar spiral-like structure appears on the landscape, drawing you in for a closer look. After a few seconds, you discover a seemingly isolated house with a lone figure in a white robe riding a bicycle. But wait, there's some more weirdness. As you keep virtually exploring, you discover a group of people, everyone dressed in the same white robes, forming a circle around the spiral. They're all in the same mysterious and synchronized pose. The mystery deepens as you wonder what this isolated gathering is all about and what they're up to. Is it a hidden cult engaging in peculiar rituals, or does it conceal a deeper secret? In a quest that challenges the borders between reality and the unknown, a group of brave explorers stumbled upon what seemed to be a portal, a metaphysical gateway to the mysterious realm called the Backrooms. With a map guiding them through this otherworldly terrain, their journey brought them to an unusual well, which closely resembled the one marked on the map. This finding sparked their speculation that the well could be a real connection to the back rooms, a labyrinthine dimension hidden just beyond what we can usually perceive. With a mix of fear and fascination, the explorers considered the potential use of this well as a portal that could transform them from the familiar world to the shadowy depths of the back rooms. Did they go into it though? Well, we don't have the footage, so we can't say for sure. But indulge me, would you go down something like this if you had the information beforehand? Did you see that? Tell me what you saw. In fact, let's watch in slow-mo. You see it, don't you? It looks like something suddenly dropped from the sky at a high speed and power. The red hue we see appears to be nothing more than an afterglow after whatever it was that was suddenly dropped. That has us wondering, what is it that was dropped from the sky and why was it dropped? It also has you wondering who sent it and for what purpose. That's, of course, assuming the clip is legit and everything that happened in it represents true events. Half of my team think it's real, while the other half think it's CGI. Could you share your opinion so you can break this tie? That way we can finally have a conclusive answer on the authenticity of this footage. We sometimes like to think we've figured it all out when it comes to dinosaurs, but discoveries made on a daily basis make it clear that we don't know as much as we think we do.
They just found unfossilized soft dinosaur tissue. Soft dinosaur tissue?
What you're seeing on your screen is soft dinosaur tissue, and this shouldn't be possible. Dinosaurs have been extinct for millions of years, which makes it impossible for any tissue related to them to exist. Yet here it is. Fossilized dinosaur skin was discovered 20 years ago, and it's thrown the scientific community out of sync. The assumption is that dinosaurs existed about 70 million years ago. No tissue should be capable of surviving that long, unless, of course, these dinosaurs lived more recently than we've thought and accepted. That, however, is a hypothesis scientists are not willing to accept. Instead, they're trying to find out how tissue could be preserved for so long. While I understand what they're doing, they're avoiding the obvious facts. Cave paintings of some ancient civilizations have paintings of dinosaurs as well. Some of these paintings are detailed. This has led some to hypothesize that they must have seen the dinosaurs themselves and made these paintings. What's more, the concept of dinosaurs confuses some Christians because there's no mention of them in the scriptures, but the term dinosaur didn't exist until the 1800s. People called them dragons up until that point, and the Bible doesn't mention such creatures. Moving beyond Christianity to the cradle of all civilization, Egypt, we find that some of their most ancient potteries include long-necked dragons. They're not the only ones, though. You see similarities in ancient mosaics from the Romans. Even some coins from the 1500s and 1600s show an individual slaying a dragon. Should you visit the Grand Canyon, you'll also notice that the Indians carved dinosaurs into the caves. While our scientists have always told us that the dinosaurs existed millions of years ago, it doesn't make sense that cultures from around the globe have vivid depictions of them, unless, of course, there's something that we're missing. Either way, what do you think of the whole thing? Do you think our scientists are mistaken, or are we stretching this a tad too much? A man set a trail camera on his property in the woods. If you've been on this channel, you know how much of a great help trail cameras have been when it comes to capturing animals in the wild and even paranormal creatures. But this time, the camera captured something else. Soldiers. The camera actually recorded soldiers equipped with weapons moving cautiously through the wooded terrain. The soldiers' alert and vigilant demeanor suggests they may be on high alert, possibly anticipating a threat or danger. The peculiar nature of the footage leaves viewers speculating about the reasons behind the military presence in such an unexpected location. What could prompt the deployment of soldiers in a seemingly peaceful wooded area? Training, alien capture, Bigfoot, or am I simply losing it? Now, let's delve into the wilderness. In this intriguing trail camera footage, the serene image of a moose peacefully grazing in the woods takes an unexpected turn. The camera captures the moose going about its business. In the background, however, there is a pair of mysterious glowing eyes emerging from the shadows, fixated on the unsuspecting creature. The question that lingers in the air is, what lurks behind those luminescent orbs? The wilderness is known for its diverse inhabitants, from ordinary predators to creatures that dwell in the realms of folklore and myth. We can't help but wonder, is this a common predator like a wolf or cougar, or if it hints at the presence of something more mysterious? What do you think? Next, we turn our sights to Brazil, where a flame allegedly showed up and started burning by itself. Take a look. These individuals were allegedly exploring when they came across this fire. It's supposed to be a remote area, so the fire couldn't have been set by anyone. As if that was not weird enough, the flame burnt in different colors, which had them stunned. What do you think is going on here? The wait might soon be over in the fight against cancer. Scientists from Sweden have made a groundbreaking advancement, a nanobot designed to destroy cancer cells. This innovative technology could potentially revolutionize cancer treatment, making it more effective and targeted. Nanobots are tiny, engineered devices that can navigate through the body at a cellular level. The idea behind these nanobots is to specifically target and destroy cancer cells while leaving healthy cells unharmed, which could significantly reduce the side effects often associated with traditional cancer treatments like chemotherapy and radiation. If this technology continues to develop successfully, it could mean that cancer, which has been one of the most challenging diseases to treat, might soon be curable. This is a huge step forward in medical science and brings a lot of hope to millions of people worldwide. Back in 2022, a Facebook user from Texas took to Facebook Live when he started to hear strange noises.
Like hunt the sound down, and I can't find it. It's still like way off in that direction somewhere. You hear that?
The noises sound like screeching and screaming, then it changed to something unexplainable. The sound went on for quite a while until the man went out to go search for it. But according to him, the sound seemed to be coming from the sky. It was very loud. He also said that the whole day the weather had been strange. They had sunshine, rain, a hailstorm, and strong winds. He suspects that it had something to do with the sound, but he has nothing to prove that it actually was. What do you think this sound is?
A second ago? What the? just here a second ago. It was just really weird light just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Behold the mesmerizing spectacle witnessed over Buxton, Maine, USA in February 2023.
Oh my, what the fuck?
The footage introduces us to a celestial display that has ignited discussions about the possibility of extraterrestrial visitation. In the night sky, multiple luminous orbs grace the darkness. Their presence, unlike stars, their abundance raises questions and prompts contemplation about the mysteries that may lie beyond our earthly realm. The sheer number of these radiant orbs creates an otherworldly scene, leaving observers both intrigued and perhaps a tad apprehensive. The speculation about UFOs and the potential for an alien invasion is as exciting as it is worrying. I mean, I'd love to see aliens, but who knows what they could do to us.
Just here a second ago. It was just really weird light just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Bizarre looking, right? What do you think we're looking at? Would you believe me if I told you that the residents where this was recorded believe it's an alien? Yeah, alien. It allegedly appeared one night in El Paso, Texas, and kept moving from one building to the other in the way you see on your screen. No known animal species moves like that, and it's definitely too quick to fit the bill of a ghost or any type of cryptid. This is probably why everyone believes it's alien. But is it though? Well, my video editor doesn't think so. After scrutinizing the clip, he believes it's doctored footage meant to mislead the masses. The clip allegedly came from a security camera, but after going over the metadata of the footage et al., he concluded that was false. He's convinced someone created the clip to either put fear in the masses or have his 5 minutes of fame. Given the desire to go viral these days online, I won't be surprised if that's the case, but what do you guys think? Do you remember this guy? If you do, write his name in the comments section. Investigating his existence was one of the some fun things I have done recently. It turns out, however, that some individuals forged his body, tomb, and other artifacts to mislead the masses. They were apprehended when the video went viral. Why would they do that, you ask? Well, if you could prove something like that was authentic, there are collectors who would pay a fortune for it. Unfortunately for them, however, things did not go as planned. This footage comes from another doorbell camera. The homeowner was reviewing the footage when he noticed something strange. A woman was approaching the glass door and seemed to be looking inside as if trying to see if someone was home. However, what happens next is what really stands out. Every few seconds, the woman suddenly and violently shakes her head, almost as if she was possessed or in some kind of trance. The movements were sharp and aggressive, not something you'd expect from someone casually peeking in her house. Then, without saying a word, she turned her attention directly to the camera. For a while, she just stares into the lens, her head still twitching with those bizarre movements. After some time, she left as quietly and strangely as she arrived, never speaking or attempted to explain her actions. The homeowner was left baffled and disturbed by the encounter. Was this woman under some sort of influence? Was she mentally unwell? Or could she be possessed? Take a look at this clip. At first glance, it seems like the head of a bird, right? But watch what happens as the camera zooms in. See that? Instead of feathers, it's actually a combination of toys and random objects, all arranged to create the illusion of a bird's head. Now let's check out the next one. Here, it looks like a bird perched on a fence, but as we get closer, it's also made of small toys wired together. This is such a unique and fascinating type of art. It creates these stunning illusions from afar, and as you look closer, you see the hidden details. Now, this is a disclaimer. This next one is grotesque. If you think you can't handle graphic things, you might want to skip ahead a few seconds.
Just came out of me. I have no fucking clue what the fuck this is, but it kind of looks like a...
What you're seeing came out of the woman's recording. Don't ask me where it came from or how it did. Just accept the fact that it did. Naturally, she's freaking out, which made her post it online.
This is what the fuck is inside of us, and we need to fucking cleanse. You guys don't fucking believe me? This shit is fucking real. These are nano fucking...
She ends up ranting about how we have these things living inside us. If you ask me, it looks like the thing that came out of Neo's stomach in the Matrix. Is this the evidence we need to prove we're living in the Matrix? A part of me wanted to think so, but our medical experts were not enthused. Instead, they were worried. Others were weirded out that she would post something like this. Frankly, I am a little as well, but what do you guys think of the whole thing? Could this be a parasite in her, relation to the Matrix, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts. I know we've seen some pretty strange things on this channel, but I'm not sure how I feel about this.
What's going on here, bro? Yo, look all the people down there, look, just watching my...
Imagine being at sea and seeing a bright green glow coming from beneath it. Gives you alien vibes, does it not? My team and I started digging around trying to find out what this might be. Much to our disappointment, we found nothing until one person mentioned we had seen something like this recently. There was another clip that had a humanoid creature in the water with a bluish-green glow around it. We tried to find the clip, but haven't had much luck. If this clip and the one I'm referencing are related, then we can say with certainty that we've got an alien situation on our hands. If that's the case, where did they come from, and why are they here? Many in the paranormal community shared similar views as ours until a sect of the community introduced the theory of bioluminescence. If that were true, however, the glow would move with the waves and not be stationary in it. The way it's positioned in the water, however, proves that there has to be a large object or perhaps alien craft responsible for the glow. But then again, I could be wrong. Perhaps this is the part of me that's obsessed with aliens talking. You've seen the clip too. What do you think? This was recorded and sent in by a driver who noticed something very unusual. From the clip, we can tell the person is driving home during a cloudy sunset. It wasn't too dark, but all of a sudden, a bright orb appears in the sky. From this orb, what looked like the shadow of an angel began to emerge. The figure had wings, arms outstretched, and the wings seemed to flap behind it as it floated in the sky. This was captured by the car's dash cam, but the exact location remains unknown. What do you make of this? Was it a natural phenomenon playing tricks on the eye, or could it be something more mysterious, an angelic sign perhaps? A man shared some truly strange footage online that left everyone scratching their heads. He was by a lake when something bizarre started happening. Water began gushing out of the lake, almost like a fountain. But here's the eerie part. There was no mechanism controlling it, no fountain set up, nothing that should have caused the water to spout like that. Even weirder, the gushing water didn't just stay in one spot. It moved across the lake's surface as though it had a life of its own. The footage was unsettling, leaving viewers wondering what could possibly cause such a phenomenon. Is this some rare natural occurrence? Could there be an underground geyser at work? What are your thoughts? Still on ancient beings that might be real, what are your thoughts on the Dogman? In fact, before I say any more, do take a look at this clip. In the clip, we see what looks humanoid and a monstrous dog engaging in some adventures. The clip appears to have been taken at night, but the location isn't revealed. Given the nature of the creature, the first thing that comes to mind is a Dogman. Maybe it should have been a black bear, but I doubt that that thing is a bear in any way. Speaking of the Dogman, it's supposed to be the more aggressive cryptid, but I don't see any aggression here. That has me wondering, what exactly is going on here? Some of my team members believe the whole thing is a hoax. They think that that might be a man in a suit being filmed by his friends trying to get their 5 minutes of fame. I'm tempted to accept their theory. I visited the original post online, and surely people thought the same. One person even sarcastically and funnily stated that it was a Chinese experiment gone wrong. Others just laughed. What about you? What do you think? Do you think the toothpaste companies are intentionally ripping us off and giving us cavities? Well, the man in our next clip seems to think so.
I have not brushed my teeth since I was 8 years old. Oh yeah, I'm 62 years old and I got every one of them, never had a cavity, and have never had any problems with them. Go figure that one out.
8 years old?
No, I just do hydrogen peroxide.
You gotta start with that.
No, the reason why, go on a YouTube video and watch if you put Crest on a toothbrush, okay? Take that same toothbrush on a rusted chrome bumper and watch it just take all the rust right off the bumper. Now that's the same thing that you're cleaning your teeth with. What you're doing is you're withdrawing the enamel. In other words, you're taking the enamel, the protection off your teeth when you brush. Why? Why?
According to him, he's not brushed his teeth since he was 8 years old and has some of the healthiest and perfect teeth out there. He uses hydrogen peroxide when necessary. He adds that the paste we use in brushing our teeth is capable of cleaning rust off of a surface. Such products should not be used on our teeth as they basically have the same effect on our teeth and gums. He starts making reference to ancient characters who lived and had healthier lives without using the things we're using today. Many in the comments section agreed with him, including this guy. This has me thinking, could they be right? Are we actually damaging our teeth by thinking we're cleaning them? Please share your thoughts.
Why? What did Moses use soap when he was? Did Jesus? Did any of them? They lived 400. Moses lived 400 years. He did something right.
In this footage, a man is standing by the riverbank, and while the water appears calm, there are strange ripples forming at the edge. The rest of the water looks undisturbed, which makes the ripples even more mysterious. The ripples could be caused by something moving just beneath the surface, maybe a fish, some other aquatic creature, or even an unseen underwater current. However, the fact that only the edge of the water is affected raises questions. It could also suggest something lurking just out of sight, slowly disturbing the water. Humans can definitely be weird and unpredictable, but this scene is on another level. Take a look at this and tell me what's going on here. You've got a group of people standing by the side of a path, all facing the trees, and they're just standing there, doing absolutely nothing. To add to the strange vibe, there's another man on the opposite side also standing still and facing the trees. No movement, no interaction, just eerie stillness. It almost feels like a glitch in reality, like these people are NPCs, non-playing characters in a video game, frozen or going through some bizarre script. Could this be some odd coordinated behavior, NPCs, or just really weird people doing weird things for absolutely no reason? A man was alone in his room when an unsettling feeling crept over him. The darkness seemed heavier than usual, almost oppressive, as if someone was lurking just out of sight. Trying to shake off the unease, he reached over and flipped on the light switch. As the room brightened, his eyes were drawn to the room across from his. What he saw made his blood run cold. A pale face, eerily expressionless, staring directly at him. It was there only for a brief moment before it turned away and vanished as if it had never been there. What would you have done in this situation? Next, we've got this clip that's got the entire paranormal community talking. Well, not everyone, but most individuals. Take a look. I know this has got the blurry thing going on, which we all hate, but take a look. Tell me you see the yellowish creature that appears crouched in the clip. The individual who uploaded this clip insists that the crouched and yellowish thing we see was alive and even had its ears flickering in response to the noise they were making. Now, given the blurry nature of the clip, it's hard to analyze, but the uploader at some point thought we were dealing with a mountain lion. But after watching the clip multiple times, she's convinced it's something else. I'm all for conspiracies and what have you, but it's hard to tell what we're looking at when you can barely see it. Maybe that's just me, though. You've seen the clip too, right? What do you think we're dealing with here? Here's another strange encounter that left a woman rattled in the middle of the night. She was suddenly woken up by the sound of a man screaming outside her apartment complex. Naturally, she got up and looked out of her window to investigate. Outside, in the park below, she saw a figure, presumably the man she heard standing unnaturally still. It was late at night. The person was standing straight, his arms stiffly by his sides, and the creepiest part is he seemed to be facing directly at her apartment. While she was focused on this eerie figure, something else happened. She heard a noise coming from inside her closet. Startled, she opened it, and an object immediately fell out. Well, that was enough for her. She bolted from the apartment, grabbed her keys, and headed outside. I know you're thinking, why is she going outside? Now here's where things get even weirder. When she pans the camera back toward her room from outside, you can see a figure moving inside. Someone else walking down her stairs. What could this be? Was this just two strange events happening at the same time? Or are we looking at some sort of entity? It's hard to say, but the combination of the man outside and the figure inside is beyond chilling. What do you think is going on here? Could these two events be connected? This photo was taken by a group of friends on a hike in Chile. Like anyone would, they gathered together, smiling and enjoying the moment for a group photograph. Everyone seemed happy, but when they got back and started sharing the photo, they noticed something unsettling. Take a close look at the space between the two women on the left. In that small gap between their heads, what is that? When they enhanced the photo to get a closer look, they were shocked by what they saw. A strange face peeking through the tiny space. This eerie face left everyone in disbelief. What could it be? Is there some mysterious figure in the background? Something paranormal? This intriguing footage, taken by a family in California, shows what appears to be a mysterious craft flying through the night sky. The craft is particularly striking because of the blue light it emits, which projects a beam down toward the Earth. What makes this sighting even more unusual is that, alongside the main craft, there is a smaller object moving in sync with the disk. The family who recorded the video seemed captivated by the sight, and it's easy to understand why. The craft's movements and the accompanying smaller object suggest something more than just a regular aircraft. The blue light and the beam it projects also raises questions. Could it be scanning something on the ground, or is this part of some experimental technology? Given the circumstances, it's no wonder that speculation is running wild. Some are saying it's evidence of advanced technology or even an extraterrestrial presence. Others think this is a top-secret military craft or a drone with an unknown purpose. What are your thoughts? If you've been following this channel for a while, you'd remember I did post about some orange UFOs that were suspected to be plasma-based some months ago. Turns out this particular UFO is showing up again. See it? These images look similar to what we shared a few months ago, but they are allegedly from a different source who had the same story to tell. Has any of you seen anything like this flying around, especially in the USA in August? If you have, please share your experience in the comments section below. In this home surveillance clip, you can see a room with two dolls sitting on a cabinet and a cat positioned right in front of them, almost as if it's fixated on the dolls. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a dark figure seems to leap from the smaller doll. The cat jumps back in shock, clearly startled by what it saw, or maybe sensed. Dolls have always been a tricky subject for me. After Annabelle and Chucky, I think it's safe to say I've had my fill of creepy doll stories. But it's not just the movies. There are so many real-life tales of possessed or haunted dolls that keep the unsettling vibe alive. And after seeing this footage, I can't help but feel that same uneasiness. It seems the cat saw the figure, but what could this figure be? In this next footage, we have another unusual encounter involving what seems to be a canine. The video shows a man driving home late after work, taking a shortcut through the woods. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a creature leaps onto the windshield of his car before quickly jumping off again. It appears that the creature was running when it collided with the vehicle, and it was quite a close call. As we slow down the footage, you can see distinct features, paws, and a tail. At first glance, it looks like it could be a wolf or some other kind of animal. Whatever it was, it certainly startled the driver, and it's a miracle that the car didn't sustain any damage from the impact. What do you think that was? Have you ever wondered what a being that was half snake and half human would look like? Well, want to know more because the one who sent us this clip believes he'd captured one. Take a look. I know the object we're considering is quite distant in the clip, but pay attention to it. It looks like a creature with a long tail, doesn't it? The uploader, however, believes this is actual footage of a creature that's a half snake and half human. And before you ask, yes, there are such creatures. In fact, they go by different names in different cultures with slight variations and differences. The Hindus have the Naga, the Philippines have the Bakunawa, and the Greeks have the Chimera, which is a more complex creature. As much as I want to believe this clip is a genuine capture of one of these beings, there's something off about it. I just can't put my finger on it. Can you? I mean, what do you make of the whole clip? Conspiracies about our world leaders are as old as the offices they occupy. From them using clones and robots as doubles to them dabbling in things we can't mention yet. Today, however, we're taking a look at this clip featuring one, if not the most feared world leader in the world right now, Vladimir Putin. Do you notice something unusual about the arms of his bodyguards? They look fake, don't they? It turns out this is actually a norm for some security agencies. But why? The answer is simple. They keep their real arms hidden and near to their weapons so it's ready to go off at any time. Cool, huh? I mean, it's cool, but it's also a tad scary. Imagine having to live like this so you could preserve your own life. In the words of trusty old Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. Even if in this case the responsibility is making sure nobody can kill you. Look at this magnificent sunset. It's absolutely breathtaking. The warm hues of orange and pink paint the sky as the sun descends toward the horizon. But if you pay attention, there's something quite strange. While the sun is glowing brilliantly in the sky, casting its final rays of light, there's this dark line stretching across the sky, almost like a shadow. It extends from the sun itself and runs all the way to the back. It shouldn't be there. How is it possible for the sun, the source of all light, to be casting such a shadow? A dog owner and a partner shared an emotional experience during a visit to her partner's late father's residence one evening. As they stood in front of the house with their cute little dog, something truly heartwarming and unusual occurred. The dog began to leap in the air as though it was playing with someone they couldn't see. You know how dogs sometimes lift their front legs and tap on your legs when they're excited to see you? That's exactly what this dog was doing, but no one was there. Seeing this, the couple became emotional. The timing felt significant since the father had passed away a year earlier and his memorial was coming up soon. They firmly believed that the dog was seeing the spirit of their late father who had come to greet them outside the house. It seemed to them that the dog recognized his presence even though they couldn't see him. Stepping away from these ancient lizards, let's take a look at astral beings that have been with us since the beginning of time. Ghosts. I'm pretty sure some of you might have scoffed at the idea, but take a look at this security cam clip. The one who uploaded this believes that there were ghosts in this clip. Fog doesn't usually look like that, nor does it assume such shapes, but this one did. And it was not just at a single spot to be a coincidence, but at 2 different spots. The beings looked like they were moving toward the house, and the one who posted it stated that strange things had been happening at night in the vicinity. The strange occurrences were what necessitated the need for a camera, and this footage proves beyond reasonable doubt that there are at least 2 ghosts responsible. At least that's what the man believes. What do you think? Are we seeing things that are not there, or are these 2 figures actually ghosts? Share your thoughts in the comments section. These teenagers made a bold decision to open a room in their house that had been sealed and shut off for 6 years. Out of curiosity, they grabbed a sage bundle, lit it, and stepped inside. At first, it just looked like an old abandoned room. Inside, there was a desk, a monitor, a baby cot, and some random objects, nothing too unusual. But then, something shifted. A few of them started feeling lightheaded as soon as they stood in the room, and then the boy holding the sage began speaking out loud, saying, "You are not welcome here." Moments later, he winced in pain and said his back was burning. The group quickly checked, and there were fresh scratch marks across his lower back. The kids all freaked out and left the room in shock. I guess the room was closed for a reason. Whatever was in that room clearly did not appreciate being disturbed.
I just got so lightheaded. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I got lightheaded as soon as I walked in here.
Yeah.
You are not welcome here.
Oh, my head's itching. I
If
think
there's
there's
any
lights
spirits
in here.
leave. You are not welcome.
What are you doing in the closet, dude?
Oh, my back's burning.
Is it really?
Bitch, my back's
Do you have
burning.
scratch marks in it? I don't know.
Oh my god.
No, you're kidding.
Stop.
No, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Scratch marks up your back.
Stop.
No, you do.
Stop. You're giving me anxiety.
Oh my god.
You're kidding, right? You're
No.
kidding. Look.
This video was taken a while ago. It shows various clips of people being caught coming out of tunnels in the US. These tunnels are said to be part of a network that connects throughout the city, and oddly enough, the men caught were all Jewish. Now, could that be a coincidence? Well, I don't think so. We've heard of tunnels all over the world, ranging from secret operations to underground communities. Some are dismissing this as paranoia, but then, why are these men using the tunnels, and what purpose do these underground networks serve? Is there more to this story, or is it being blown out of all proportion? Well, I did some digging around and discovered that there was an issue with synagogues in Brooklyn early last year that resulted in these tunnels being dug out. I think the issue has been resolved now, but then again, what if that's just a cover for something bigger? It may just be the paranoia talking, but let's hear your thoughts. These 3 people were having fun at the pool, 2 men and a woman. The woman was in the middle of the 2 men. They decided to take a video together, so the trio went under the water while filming and then came back up laughing. They didn't think much of the footage at first and shared it, but later one of them noticed something chilling. There was someone else in the footage, someone they hadn't seen or met at the pool. And here's where it gets really weird. The pool was not public. This was their own private home pool. Yet in the video, you can clearly see a figure behind the woman in the middle. It looks like another woman, but her long, wet black hair is covering her face entirely. This unknown figure went into the water with them, rose back up with them, and then vanished just like that. The trio was completely freaked out by what they saw. They had no idea and were certain no one else was there. So what do you think? Was this just some creepy illusion, or could this be a ghostly presence? Lately, people all across China have been posting videos of some seriously bizarre lights in the sky. No one seems to know exactly what we're looking at. The first shows a laser-like beam just sweeping across the sky horizontally. It doesn't flash or blink, it's almost like it's scanning the sky. The second clip comes from a group of people out on a boat in the ocean in the middle of the night. Suddenly, this strange glowing object appears above them. It's bright enough to light up the entire ocean around them. Then there's a third video, a light with different colors hovering above the sky, blinking. So what is going on up there in China? Some people think it's just new tech being tested, or maybe some sort of advanced surveillance or weather control experiment. Others are leaning toward the UFO explanation. I mean, wouldn't you, seeing lights that sweep the sky like scanners or objects that glow like miniature suns? What do you think it is? And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. Yeah, we can't wait to receive what you have.
I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Share this with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.